hero Austin Castro,
Uh-huh.
come on down. And like, if you watch the episode, you'll see there's so many moments where it looks like I'm about to cry because it literally felt like a dream. Like, you hear people say that all the time, but it was really cool to see like the other creators, all the other teams, filmmakers, because here in the Valley, like, there's only
So, you mentioned that on camera you're very extroverted. Or
Yeah.
you know how when you create content, you kind of have to, up your personality a little bit. So do you think communications helped you with that?
Oh, you
Because
mean
we're
like doing it in school?
major.
Yeah, so like, I know I've taken a lot of communication studies classes.
We're both in that right now. So.
Yeah, I think something I definitely realized is that when I'm like talking on camera, like it's definitely like you said, like a heightened version of yourself. It's almost like you have to perform, and so like it's weird because people who know me like purely through my YouTube channel and through social media definitely don't have the same like viewpoint as like my friends who know me in person, because I'm a lot weirder and I say a lot of things that aren't internet friendly. I'm more family friendly because like you don't want to get demonetized on YouTube. No, but like I have a lot of other things that I say that would not be advertiser friendly.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but in terms of like communication studies, I think it would like, it's helped. I would say it has helped. I took one class. It was called mediated communication. If you're not familiar with mediated communication, that's basically communication through technology. So what we talked about with like communicating professionally through like email, through like LinkedIn, and even like a lot of like social media stuff, which was really cool. So basically it was like a technology and a social media class, but it definitely makes you more aware of like how you communicate using technology, especially nowadays, considering that like a lot of YouTubers like talk about how they're very different off camera as opposed to on camera, and like you definitely have like a specific YouTube persona that you want to put out there. So I want to say that's the way I view it, for sure.
How do you think? So you think that's the difference, just in terms of censorship, or is there more to that?
I mean, for me, yes. I mean, if you watch other channels, you'll find like a lot of crazy stuff out there.
Different.
Yeah, I try to keep my stuff very family friendly and very like PG, maybe PG-13 at the most. I just think like, especially because of the internet, you never know who's out there.
Yeah.
And so I also
they'll be looking for you.
Yeah, I also try to keep in mind that like you never know if like an employer or future school or like, I try to keep my best friend out there because like you never know who's going to be out there. And I also use like my social media and my YouTube channel as a way to like, almost as a portfolio. Like even with TFC,
You're
basically
real.
it's like a real, like they basically selected me a big part because of YouTube. And like I want to make sure my channel's like somewhat friendly, because if I'm out there like spewing out like hate and like all the other bad thing that would probably get you demonetized, like that wouldn't look too great. Yeah.
For me, I just try to be, for what I'm doing right now or what I've progressed to, I try to be as genuine as possible.
Yeah.
Try to, there's some things, like you said, can't really, put out there. But did you, you said you had a class, media? Or
mediated communication.
Is that in our school?
That was at our school. And so that definitely helped. Also, intro to mass communications helped. So it's like communicating through technology. Yeah, but on that point you bring up about like being genuine, that you bring up another good point, because also a lot of times like you could have like your internet personality be like way up here and your real life personality be here, and you don't want to be like fake. And so I feel like I watch my older vlogs and I'm just like, was I really that extra? Like I was like way up here, and like there are times that I'm like way down here. And so I think now more recently it's kind of like slowly like gotten more to like level out. And so I definitely try, especially now, to be a lot more genuine, and I think it really shows in videos when like you're passionate about something that you're talking about, or you're no, you don't want to be fake on the internet.
Yeah.
So just be really genuine and like enjoy what you're doing, and don't
I mean,
don't fake those emotions.
I mean, I think that's part of the burnout thing you brought up.
Yes.
Like a lot of people try to, you know, be with the trends or whatever's going on, and put out this other persona, you know, and it gets tiring, and then, you know, it maybe not go downhill, but like personally, like behind the cameras, you know, it's a struggle.
It really takes a lot of energy out of you to just do this in general, but when you're really having to like be a different person like entirely, that's where it can get really exhausting. And I think for me there have been so many instances where I've just taken a step back and I really ask myself, like, what am I doing? Like, what am I really wanting to do? And so like you really just have to remind yourself why you started this in the first place and what you're really passionate about, and then that will really show, because you want to do content that you enjoy, obviously.
And let's see. Oh, so through communications, how did you get into not public speaking, but speech and debate? Speech and debate,
yeah, that's another fun area. You know, it's weird because I feel like I've been doing that for so long. I started doing speech and debate through our college. We went to the same college, 2017, and so it's kind of
through our 100 professor.
Yeah, like my public speaking class, like I took that in 2016, and my professor would always write on like my critique forms, you should consider joining the team. And so when I did that, because it was weird for the longest time, because you do YouTube, you know that like here we are talking to a camera, it's
pretty different.
It's very different, especially considering that you can edit it and like you can like choose what you want to put out there. Whereas public speaking, you see like real faces.
No Control Z.
Yeah, exactly. There's like 30 people, like, or hundreds. You never know how big the crowd is, and you can just see like their individual reactions. So it's very different. But like, I would kind of treat it as if like I'm making a YouTube video, like when I did my public speaking class, and so I would like do that and like try to like remind myself like, okay, it's just like doing a YouTube video, except now you have like a laugh track. And so then I went into doing speech and debate, and I think that definitely has helped me a lot going back to YouTube. It's kind of come full circle, just because it's weird in speech and debate, because fun fact, you actually don't, one of the ironic things about speech and debate is that you don't speak in front of like large crowds.
No.
When you're competing, I mean, you pretty much speak in a room of no more than like probably like 6 or 7 people. Like there's like your 5 other competitors that are in that round, and then like your one judge. Yeah. So it's really different, but like it's still a form of public speaking, and it's something that like can be very nerve-wracking. And so I've done like speeches about like everything from like I did a speech talking about like internet trolls, which was really cool. Internet trolls, electoral college. Oh my god, I've done so many speeches. It becomes a blur. Food waste. And I've also done like these really fun events called like limited prep events. So I've done like impromptu where you get like a quote. I mean, you're kind of familiar with that. You get like a quote. You have 2 minutes to prepare a 5-minute speech, and then we have extemporaneous speaking, which is more so like current events, whether that's foreign or domestic affairs. You get 30 minutes to prepare a 7-minute speech with about 6 to 10 different topics. Which sounds really difficult, but that's actually my best and favorite event. I want to say like it's definitely helped me a lot. And I know we did a whole short film basically as like a mockumentary of speech and debate, and it was a lot of fun.
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see. So, did you think TFC around the corner helped you out with that? Like, before?
Yeah, no, that's actually a good point. Yeah, because TFC I actually got in 2016, then I started doing speech and debate in 2017. So it's kind of like a culmination of all of these things. So I think it all comes back to YouTube basically, because I could not even do like a basic...
Thank you, YouTube.
Thank you very much, YouTube. I really appreciate it. I couldn't even do like a basic class presentation when I was like in like middle school or like elementary school. And so I started doing off YouTube, like making videos in my room, making videos out and about when I'm doing vlogs. And then that led to TFC in 2016, where it kind of like brought it to a bigger scale. And then like with 2017 with speech and debate, now it's like, okay, now it's a little bit like more so like people that are there in person with you, and so I think that really led to one. It's like one thing led to another. It's like those little steps that you take can lead to something bigger. That should be like a quote that you frame on your wall.
Hey,
right
there. You go. Let's see. And I mean, going back to 100, our first class.
Intro to public speaking.
Yeah, I think it got me interested. I said this in the other video, but it helped me because I'm not always projecting my voice. So that was like part of why I wanted to get into it.
Yeah.
I'm not the best talker at all times. So.
But here you are talking to everyone online.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it really helps out. Like, why do you think you were interested in it?
In public speaking?
Yeah. Or communications.
I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, with speech and debate, I'm like, well, this sounds interesting. Like, I've always thought about doing it, but it took me a really long time to actually like take the plunge. And so like it was fall 2017. I started doing it, and no, spring 2017. Spring 2017, yeah.
2017.
It's all a blur. It's been something I've always wanted to do, and so it really was something that was outside of my comfort zone, and I think that's something that I've realized is like, once you do stuff that's outside of your comfort zone, it's very rewarding, and it can be very intimidating to step outside that, but it pays off in the long run, which I think is really important to remember.
It's like, not empowering, but like, you can be humble about it, but definitely. Just feeling like you fulfilled that, that little fear or that nervousness you have.
Yeah, it's probably like the same reason you got into YouTube. Like you watch these YouTubers that you like always looked up to, and you were like, oh, I want to try doing that. Yeah. And so it really is stepping outside of that comfort zone, because putting yourself out there is so intimidating. And there are some internet trolls that will be out there, but like in the end, like there are people out there who will support you in the long run.
Let's see. And that same year, when I was doing communications, and I went into the Ingai, new vlogs. Every year I would be like, all right, I'm sorry for the long wait. I'm gonna be more consistent now. I'm gonna do it every week.
Yeah, consistency is the hardest thing on YouTube.
I didn't do it
for sure.
It was like only for like 3 months or something.
Yeah.
And then I stopped.
How often did you upload in those 3 months?
Is it like I was planning to just do one video a month at least.
Okay.
At
that's
least.
That's doable.
Bad,
yeah. It's weird because like.
Just did it.
Yeah, no, it's very doable. I wanted to audition for VidCon's Less Than Famous panel again this year.
Less Than
Famous. The one I've auditioned for it like every year for the last 3 years, but I actually couldn't this year because I was ineligible. And the reason I was ineligible was because I wasn't it was because I wasn't uploading enough stuff on my channel. One of the requirements, I don't know if they've had this the past years, but this year you had to upload at least one video a month for the last 6 months, which is pretty like easy, you would think. But like I want to say there were like 1 or 2 months in the past 6 months I haven't uploaded. But when I come back, I come back pretty consistently,
right.
And so hopefully it stays that way.
Checking that, I guess, reliability, or if that you can do that.
Yeah, especially now that it's summer. I don't know if you feel this, but like during the summer, do you ever feel like this huge, like as soon as school gets out, like this huge motivation to like do all these projects?
It's
every single break. No, I get it all the time. So like summer break, winter break, spring break, which we don't even get a spring break. But I always just try to do as much as I can, and then it's always hit or miss.
Yeah.
And so I think the big thing is just surrounding yourself with people who will like constantly motivate and support you, and just finding that drive to keep doing what you want to do.
I think that's part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that it is a huge part of it too, but I think you also have to, which I struggled with for a little bit, like trying to keep a drive through yourself. Because there might not always be like feedback or something to help you out, I guess. Like there won't always be support like that you'll see in front of you.
Yeah.
You have to like,
you really have to push yourself and persevere. And that's that's really important too. I'm glad you brought that up because there are times when there will literally be no one there to motivate you.
Yeah.
You literally just have you, and so you really have to find that drive to keep pushing because no one's gonna push you like to get there at times, and so you really just need to keep pushing yourself and do what you want to do.
Like you said earlier, you what was it? You gotta be genuine with yourself.
Yes.
And then it was what did you say?
Find your passion. I've said a lot of things.
Yeah.
What have I said? That's a good question.
Passion.
Just remind yourself why you want to do
why
you got into this in the first place.
Why? Yeah. Let's see. I remember. Okay, sorry. I brought up how our first public communications linked to my the Ingai vlogs. So when we were talking about like genuinity, I don't know if you remember. If you look back, my first one was like CES. It was in a car, right?
2017, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that we went to together, obviously.
Where I shot a vlog.
Yeah, the TFC adventures. I remember that. That was so fun.
And I was a little bit not so genuine because I ended up over projecting. I was over expressive like you were.
Oh my god, I still like that sometimes.
What's it called? In high school.
Yeah, and it's weird because you want to still be like very energetic on camera and like still like be interesting and like keep your audience.
The middle ground. Of
but
keeping
you also
it interesting and not, over exaggerating.
Yeah, I just try not to yell at the camera as much as I used to.
Same.
I mean, like if I'm excited about something, like shoot, I'll yell and I'll scream and whatnot. But like you want to just pretend like something I like learned is like you want to just like think about your audience and pretend like you're talking to a friend almost.
Right.
Like I did this this workshop a few weeks ago down in LA with like for the Screen Actors Guild, and like they had a bunch of like broadcast professionals from like local news stations talking about like the best way to put yourself out there, and like it was like a mentoring program, and they talked about like pretending like you're talking to like one person, like really connect with your viewers. So like I imagine I'm talking to like a close friend, and like just instead of saying you guys, I just kind of say you.
Yeah.
So like I'll see you
Make
guys
it
on the
more
internet, personal, so I'll see you on the internet or something like that. I even changed up my intro a little bit just recently, like last week. I used to say like "What's up, internet?" like all the time.
Yeah.
But now I kind of like am trying to switch more to like "Hey, internet friends," and it just feels more like warm and inviting.
Okay.
And I never think of myself as having fans too.
Yeah.
That's another thing. I always think of myself as having more like internet friends. Like I've met so many people like doing YouTube and like people that are always like interacting with me, and so I think of them definitely more as internet friends.
So going into that, what are your goals on YouTube?
That is a good question.
What do you want for maybe like short term, if that helps?
Short term, I think just if we're talking short term, I think just being consistent.
Okay.
Like I know we both have this problem. It's just so hard to stay consistent, and like my biggest hurdle is always just editing. Like it's always so hard for me to just actually sit down and edit a video together. I think I'm trying to like get really good at just like editing as quickly as I can. So like if I shoot a video, don't just leave it in Final Cut for like a month or 2 months, which I still do have some projects that are still waiting to get edited from like over a year ago, which you'll hopefully see soon. It's just making sure that like I stay on top of that, just actually having a quick turnaround time, getting it up on YouTube, even if it's private, and then making it public whenever I want to. So that's something I'm trying to get better at. Like I have a lot of content lined up. I mean, I feel like it's almost more of a long-term goal, right? Like just being consistent in a way. It could be either one, but that's one of the goals. Another goal is I think trying to like delve into more content, different types of content, aside from just doing
more
vlogs.
short films.
It's more like actually I want to do more skits. Like I've always wanted to do more comedy skits, and I think what we did through like what we did with It's Debatable was like it was almost like a comedy skit. Like it took a lot of work though, and so I think just all the like effort that goes behind it is a big thing, and I just wanted to delve into different types of content. Like I do vlogs partially because they're also really easy to shoot.
Just
like you
right
literally
there.
plan out your day, make sure it's fun, bring a camera with you and go with it. But with like these skits and like even like tech review videos I've been wanting to do, it takes a little bit more effort. So I want to really push myself to put that extra step forward and delve into like that different type of content as well.
Like figuring out a cast and you know, just the timing too, scheduling.
I mean, maybe if we could do like a smaller scale version of what we did with It's Debatable, which I don't know, did we talk about that yet? The 48-hour
not yet.
film? Yeah.
But you know how you said we were struggling to, you know, like be consistent.
Yeah, I still struggle to be consistent.
And then going into how you said every break you feel more motivated to do stuff.
All the time.
So last summer I had a lot of projects, like a lot of ideas going through my mind, especially like this thing right here.
Yeah.
And
you've had a lot of these episodes, by the way. I know I'm not your first guest. Like I've been keeping up.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a lot of short films and stuff, and vlog ideas and whatnot, and I just couldn't get to them. Like I just waited too long, or I just put it off, and then it didn't happen. So that's why, you know, this year it was a real, you know, New Year's resolution to make it more realistic, like a realistic goal of just trying to I guess stockpile and just upload what I really want to push out, or just making it happen.
Yeah. And that's the thing with, another thing is like stockpiling can work.
Yeah.
But like I feel like it only works to like if you have like a specific way of doing it.
Right.
Like I've stockpiled videos before where like the thing is I'll shoot and shoot and shoot. But I don't edit them. Yeah. So I think the thing with stockpiling is that you need to keep working on it while it's still fresh. So you can't, like I said, you can't let it just sit in your like editing program. I think what you need to do, like when you stockpile, is you have to like edit it, get it up on YouTube private, like it's private, and then like basically when you're ready to like schedule it on YouTube, schedule it on YouTube, just like get it ready to go, and then like you don't really have to worry about anything aside from like promoting it on all the socials.
Right. With that, like I tried to, I did exactly that, to try to at least hit, you know, that one goal, a video a month, and then I ended up having enough for 2, so it was really
and it works out.
Helpful for that, or thankful that I was able to do that. But I mean, okay, so going back to goals, so what do you want out of YouTube? Or like, do you want, some people want fame, or you know, they want like, I don't know, be number 1, or I don't know, what do you want to try to have as your end goal?
That's a really good question, because I think my goal on YouTube, it's been over 6 years, has definitely changed dramatically. I think early on I was just like, I want to be like the biggest YouTuber out there and whatnot. But like I think as I've grown up, like, and I've matured, I feel like the whole fame like thing is like, I don't know if I want that. Like it's cool to have like just like little doses of it here and there, but like to always be out there and to like be in the public eye to that extent. It just seems like
gonna be more.
It just seems like such an exhausting lifestyle, and I think like I want to do well on YouTube, and like of course I think as any YouTuber wants to get like numbers up and whatnot, but I think
it's not your ultimate goal.
Yeah, I think my goal is
be in traditional media.
Yeah, I've kind of like delved more into like television and like more traditional media, and like news and broadcast and that kind of stuff. So it's kind of like easing more into that, but like YouTube will always be there as like a personal thing, because I love doing my own personal projects where no one can tell me what to do, except for the YouTube advertisers who will demonetize me. And I think just wanting to do more content that like I enjoy, because like I worked on so many other projects and so many other sets and productions, and it's like you're a piece of that puzzle, but whereas here on YouTube you're the one that's like doing the whole puzzle, and like you're the one that called the shots, and you get to do what you want to do. And so no matter how many other productions and other things that I've worked on in like more traditional media, I always want to come back to YouTube just to kind of do things myself.
For your own whatever
Yeah.
fulfills you.
Yeah, it's very fulfilling and rewarding, and that's what I really enjoy out of YouTube. So I want to say that's my end goal. I mean, shoot, if I get like numbers and whatnot, then like I'll go with it. Like I'm not against that. Definitely.
For me, I just want to build like a really close fan base, how you said, like internet friends.
Internet friends.
Yeah, I'll
always the best.
be number one. Just like like there might be like a following, but I just want to be more personal, more for the interaction, I guess.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a whole community out there. I'm telling you, you should go to VidCon, because I remember my first VidCon in 2016. Like, we all know YouTube's a huge community, and there's millions of people out there. But I think when you go to VidCon, you really see that YouTube community, like, right before your eyes in person. And I think, that was a huge motivator. Like, in 2016, I feel like that was, like, the game changer for me. It's like, there really is a community, and when you see that community right before your very eyes in person, it really is a reminder, like, shoot, like there are people actually out there on the other side of this camera, on the other side of that screen, which I think is really cool.
Meeting
and get to connect with them.
And did you ever have like a tough time and someone kind of motivated you?
Like like a tough time on YouTube?
Yeah.
I want to say definitely. It goes back to the consistency thing. It's like with real life in college, like you have so many other things going, especially when you're traveling. You're always keeping up with school and tests and whatnot.
I don't travel as much.
I mean, like, hey, we're gonna change that.
Yeah.
I think like it's just so hard to stay consistent, but the most important thing is to find people who are like interested in the same things that you are and want have almost similar goals, because like those kind of people like definitely.
Like-minded people.
Yeah, they're very like-minded, and like you can kind of like bond over the fact that like you're both trying to reach like the same similar type of goal and kind of have that same like bond, same similar motivation. That's helped a lot.
All right. I don't know if you saw, but I did a kind of skit through cooking.
Yes.
Yeah. I shot a behind-the-scenes live video through this private group I'm in. It's community, one of the CEOs of JK.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he wanted like a tight community, just for them to flourish together and be warm and helpful and just do whatever.
Yeah. And I think really just finding those, like, connecting with the community is a big thing too. And also like collaborating, kind of like what we are, something I'm trying to get better at, because I feel like I never collab with other creators, but you're doing a really good job of that. And so hopefully we'll do better on my channel. But no, collabing and just networking and connecting basically is what will get you far.
Right. And that live video, I had someone commenting like on how motivated they are in seeing how many takes we do for a video.
How many takes did it take you?
I don't know. I just kept going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes so many takes.
It does.
This is a one-take video, and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
That's a record. Just one take.
But I would say that was like a really that's why I wanted to do YouTube, just to be able to touch someone some way, like they're motivated to
not like physically touch them, but like
I might give them a hug or something, but
like emotionally and morally, like
supporting,
definitely.
So they're able to, I don't know, carry out what their motivations are, whatever their goals are, or stuff like that.
Definitely. Like, I don't know if you ever get comments, but like this, but it's always like there's always someone out there that will talk about like wanting, like how they're like inspired, or they feel what's the word I'm looking for? They feel like emotionally uplifted because of what you put out there.
Yeah.
Like someone could be having a bad day and they watch your video and then it makes them feel
That's
a lot
like
better.
The rewarding part of it, kind of.
Yeah, I remember there was this one girl. There's this one girl who I actually met in person. She watched my How to Get on the Price is Right video, and like she did that, and then she actually got on the Price is Right herself, and it was so cool just to see that like, well, my video actually helped someone.
Yeah.
And so I think that was one example where it's like it really does make a difference, and like, you never know who could, like, what kind of impact it has on your audience. Yeah, that's really cool.
And in terms of collaborating, we did one the beginning of this year, right?
Is it the short debate?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, what project was it?
Yeah. So we did a skit for a 48-hour film festival.
Yeah, 48-hour short film festival, which I've always wanted to do, but the problem with that, it's always like in like San Jose or San Francisco, like hours away. So logistically, it's so difficult. Whereas this time around, it came right here to our hometown, really right down the street.
Was take that opportunity.
Yeah, and so logistically, we were able to make that happen, and we made a pretty awesome short film. It's called It's Debatable. It's over on my channel if you want to check it out.
And on
Joe's channel. Yeah, our friend Joe. And so we did a speech and debate mockumentary. It was very much based on like The Office, because everyone loves The Office. The Office, Parks and Rec, Modern Family, that whole mockumentary style. And so our genre was comedy, and like we just went with it. It was, I think, that was the genre I definitely wanted to get, because you get a prompt and you don't know what you're gonna get. I'm like, please be comedy, because that's gonna be so much fun. And we got comedy. We got really lucky.
And we had specific lines we had to do.
And a line and a prop. Yeah, with like nothing a little elbow grease can't fix, something like that. Then a lighter. We made it into the top 16. We got to be showcased at our local theater downtown, which was really cool. And I want to say it just went by so flawlessly. Like Joe Favela, who I have to say was like a huge role. He was our director on it. I was the executive producer and first AD. Like
always produced.
I want to say it went really well because Joe and I, we've worked together on like extras on like TV shows and movies and whatnot. And so we've never had formal film training, which is the thing, but we watched a lot of YouTube tutorials, but also just have been on so many professional sets to where like you learn just by observing, like, okay, so there's like this director doing this PA doing this, and so we were able to conduct ourselves in like that professional manner because we've been on those sets and we know what it's like, and so that really helped us a lot.
And some of the casts were in like short films too, right?
Yes.
Or in those sets.
Yeah, we had a very experienced like cast and crew, so like everyone knew what they were doing, everyone was like on top of it, so it was like such a fun experience because like you would think like a 48-hour film would be so stressful and like things were gonna go downhill, but thankfully it didn't, which was really cool.
How do you feel about that whole experience? Like the first day, how did you start? I guess.
Oh my god! We actually started like a week before, just contacting people. So we basically set up because like it's 48 hours, but like a lot of it, the pre-planning starts even like a week before. Just getting like all the names of people on board, figuring out like what the schedule is.
Who can confirm?
Like who's gonna be able to make it, like locations and whatnot. And so we wanted to set ourselves up for success, and so we wanted all the pieces to fall into place. So before we even got that prompt and the 48 hours started, we were figuring out like scheduling, like, okay, so like day 1 we're gonna write, day 2 this is our production day, and then our post-production day. And so we even like set out a schedule that we were like really on top of, and by the time like we were almost done, we were way ahead of schedule. And so it's weird because you don't just start straight fresh from like 48 hours, start calling people. You really start pre-planning before it hits. Yeah. And so I think that is a big reason why we were so successful. Getting like you on, and then like Joe and like all of our other amazing like actors and crew members really helped.
Our audio guy.
Yes. Oh my god. Like
it's a hard job.
Being a boom operator is not easy. I have to thank Noah for that. Noah was really, really good with that.
And so how long did it take you to write or come up with ideas?
The ideas? Well, I want to say we had about
Did you have
it was most of the night. Yeah, our main writer was actually Michael. Michael was a huge help in it. He's done like 24-hour like plays before downtown, and so Michael Bosch, like he was a really good writer. He wants to get into screenwriting, so we actually met on a different set, and we were like, oh my god, you should totally do this with us. And it was interesting because he actually got sick the day we were supposed to start writing, but he was such a trooper, and he was super helpful because we were able to FaceTime in. We worked on a Google Doc, got the whole script together. Basically, I came up with the idea of like the speech and debate mockumentary, and then like from there it was kind of more like Joe and especially Michael who really got that idea to fruition. Because like I'm out of everyone, like I'm the main one. I mean, we have Jourdain, who also was on speech and debate, but like when we were writing, I was the only one there that really knew what it was like to do speech and debate, and so I was just trying to like guide them into talking about like my experience and like what it's like, and to
give them like a real side of it to add on to the characters. Yeah,
like make sure they kind of keep it somewhat accurate to speech and debate. Like, I mean, there have been crazy things that happen in speech and debate, and like we just kind of make it a little bit more fun. But yeah, I just wanted to guide them in the right direction in terms of like the idea and like what speech and debate is like, and how we can make it more fun and like Office and Parks and Rec like. And I think they did a really good job of that. And we got the script printed and ready to go an hour before everyone else got here. So it was a lot, but I would love to do it all over again.
Yeah, me too. That was like my first time filming with a crew.
Yeah.
Like that. And
we had, I want to say, like 12, 13 cast and crew members, and a lot of people on that. So that was cool.
And that was your first time doing like a film festival thing?
Yeah, first time doing like a film festival, like especially a 48-hour short film festival. It went really well. I like to think. Yeah,
dude, that was really fun.
It was like such a successful experience. Like, I think because I've done like short films in the past, but I think now, like, especially considering all the experience I've had being on like professional and big name sets, like just seeing that and knowing how to conduct yourself and knowing how to like organize this and that, like made it flow so much more like well, and like we were super successful in the long run. And I like to think like we didn't need 48 hours. We could have gotten it done in like 36.
Shouts to all the crew members.
Yeah, seriously, it was such a good experience, and I would love to do it all again.
And you can go check it out down below in the description or around here.
Definitely, somewhere. We'll throw it in there somewhere.
We had a lot of people watch it.
Yeah, a lot of people were checking it out.
Everyone sharing. That was good.
Yeah, and I think going back to the film festival, with the 48-hour film festival at our state theater, I think one of the big things is that like it was really cool to see like the other creators, all the other teams, filmmakers, because here in the Valley, like there's only so many opportunities to get to like meet other people who also do film and also are creators and do this kind of stuff. And so it was such a cool experience to see the community come together for this common like event, and a lot of people from our school, which was really crazy, because when you pick up your prompt, you don't know who you're up against. But like when we finished it and sent it off and we did our screening with everyone else, like it was like, oh my god, I didn't know you were doing that. This is so cool. And so I think just like seeing the community come together for something like the 48-hour film festival was so much fun and really cool to see.
And we got connected with the director of that festival too.
Yeah, Andrew, definitely. Andrew. He was really cool to me. He does a lot of like film projects here in the Valley, which is really awesome because you don't get to see much of that. And so to have someone that's more than willing to like put these kinds of events on is so awesome to see. And I want to see more types of stuff here because like there's talent and people who want to do that kind of stuff here. Like it's not just all in LA and San Francisco. Like there are people in the Valley who want to do this stuff too.
The little pockets. There are.
And if you're interested, I'm curious because I want to talk to some people. Definitely.
Call us or comment down below,
please.
I'll plug all his socials.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of socials. You know, I don't use Snapchat that much anymore. Do you?
I used to. I just message now, to be honest.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, see, I use it to look at people's stuff. Yeah. I never post on Snapchat. I always post on my Instagram story.
Same.
Yeah. People still use Snapchat. Or am I just old?
You remember when we were looking for the Snapchat glasses?
Did I ever show you that I actually ended up getting them?
think so.
Yeah, no, like, okay, so the earliest thing, it's crazy to talk about now considering I don't really use Snapchat or post on there.
What's
But
it
like,
called again?
yeah, it's called Snapchat Spectacles. If you're not
Spectacles.
familiar with them, they're like these little like sunglasses that have like a circular camera built in, and when you press the button, it'll record a 10-second clip that you can then share to your Instagram story. And when you're viewing it on Instagram, you can like rotate your phone and it'll show like the full 360 image, which was super cool. The only thing is, it only really works, like the whole effect only works on Snapchat.
Oh.
Yeah, it only works on Snapchat, and so I stopped using Snapchat for
And
posting, and now I don't really use my spectacles. But they're still cool. I have them upstairs. They're probably dead somewhere, not being charged, but they were really cool, and I use them a lot, that's for sure.
And we tried to chase different hotels.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I should also
CS.
mention, back when like Snapchat spectacles were first like released, they weren't available online. What you had to do is you had to track down these things called Snapbots, which are like these vending machines, and they would show up in like the most random locations all over the country. So they could show up in like the Santa Monica Pier, like New York, like city, like Times Square, like Orlando, like they would show up in like these random places for like only a day, and you'd have to go onto their website and track them down. And so I was just trying to find them for the longest time, and I could never find one of the Snapbots. But then they finally became available online, then I was able to get them. So that's how it all happened. So that's cool. Yeah.
What else did you do after that film festival? So you've done a lot of traveling, right?
Yeah, I feel like it's weird because I'm always going back and forth between like San Francisco and LA, so that's cool. I've been going down to LA a lot. Like, of course, we did the American Idol finale a few days ago. I also forgot to mention, we went to Jimmy Kimmel Live. We saw a live concert from Sierra, so that was cool. What else have I done? I've been doing a lot of like TV shows, commercials, like movie projects. I don't know which ones I can talk about yet because there's something called like an NDA, the non-disclosure agreement, so you can't really talk about it that much. But just stay tuned to my socials because I'll definitely be posting them once they're out there.
Yeah, follow him up.
Yeah.
And okay, so in terms of goals, did you have any others for this summer?
Stay consistent on YouTube. I feel like that's a reoccurring goal. Stay consistent on YouTube, have fun, and really just do me. Like, it's a lot's going on, and so make the most out of summer for sure. Because once summer's over, like you can only do so much. So there's that.
Actually, recently, he actually graduated.
I did.
So congratulations.
Yeah.
How do you feel about finally leaving?
It's really weird. Like, it felt like it was never gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's something like, it reminds me, just these transition periods are always so weird, and you really go outside of your comfort zone. Like, I felt that going from like elementary to middle school to high school to college, and now this college to a different one.
SF State.
Yeah, and it's just weird to think like during these transition periods, like you're really like completely going to a new environment, and so that really makes it so different. Like, I mean, I don't know how to put it. It's weird adjusting to like a whole new environment, and so that's something that I'm really trying to get used to. But I'm really looking forward to it, like with all the new opportunities and the new environment and just all the new people too. I think it's going to be like such a fun experience, and something I'm really looking forward to.
What were your top choices for schools?
None of the ones that I actually got into. No, but like, I'm going to SF State in the fall, so I'm really looking forward to that. I know like a lot of the top choices were like UCLA and like Northridge, which have like super high requirements. But the cool thing about SF State is they are actually getting a new broadcasting building, which is opening next year. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. And just being like still relatively close to home, but like also like still being able to go to school in like a new environment, which is really cool.
And be closer to your work.
Yeah, no. The cool thing is like SF State is like literally 5 minutes away from where
acting stuff.
Yeah.
Gigs.
So that's really cool.
And TFC, you're still
TFC. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear TFC in the background right now. Yeah, no, TFC. I got a lot of projects like coming up with them.
Okay.
So I know I'm filming one tomorrow, which is crazy. I filmed one a few weeks ago, but it's just like all these TFCs. I've done a lot of TFC commercials too, like, which is really fun because I'll literally like you can hear TFCs going on in the background.
Yeah.
But like I'll literally just be like walking into the kitchen and then I'll hear my voice from one of my commercials. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm going back upstairs. It's so weird. It's weird watching yourself. Like it's something you have to get used to basically.
Like someone just turns on and you're hosting.
I know. I'm like, why is that on there? I can like watch myself while editing, but like to watch like my stuff like I don't know out there somewhere else is so weird to me.
Right.
But it's cool. It's really really cool to see that.
And let's see. And why did you choose SFC? What was
definitely like they have a really good broadcasting program. So broadcast and electronic communications is what I'll be majoring in, and so like I've heard a lot of really good things about that, and like of course being close to like TFC is also really cool too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's weird because like our college that we were at like didn't really have much in terms of like film and TV, which was kind of disappointing. But like I think we definitely found like a lot more to do also with like communication studies, and we were still able to like fulfill like what we wanted to do through like communication studies. I did a lot of theater too, and so like we still stayed busy and we found other things to do with our time.
I'm planning to do some of those acting classes in school.
You really should. Like definitely like fundamentals of acting, intermediate acting, improv acting, which was so stressful but so fun. You can't go wrong with any of those classes, definitely.
Still.
Yeah.
And you went on The Price is Right?
Oh my god.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
I was waiting for us to talk about that.
Your siblings.
Yeah, so if you're have no idea who I am. I feel like I talk about it all the time.
Castro.
I try to like talk about it like not as much because like I used to have I feel like I bring it up like all the time. But 2 years ago,
$2 guy.
It was $2. I paid $2, which I should not have done. But 2 years ago, it was, we filmed the episode July 2017 and it aired October 2017. I got to be a contestant on The Price is Right, which is actually where this bar set is from. This is from my pricing game. But basically, like, I was in the audience, and it was my second time at the show. I actually went back in 2015 to be in the audience, and I
with a friend,
picked.
right?
I went with my family the first time, but then the second time I went, and like, I knew what to expect. Like, I knew how the interview process worked. I did my research. I feel like I've grown a lot because I went when I went when I was first 18, and so 18-year-old Austin was very different from 20-year-old Austin. 20-year-old Austin's also very different from the 22-year-old Austin right now. But I went, I knew what to look for in the interview or what to do. And I basically, again, talked about YouTube. I talked about YouTube, college, TFC, and I was just really energetic and really out there, which is my biggest tip if you want to be on The Price is Right. They look for energy, sincerity, and potential humor. So always put that out there. And then little did I know, I would hear Austin Castro, come on down. And like, if you watch the episode, you'll see there's so many moments where it looks like I'm about to cry because it literally felt like a dream. Like, you hear people say that all the time, but even now, I have to like watch the video to remind myself, like, oh my God, that actually happened. Because I think about it and I honestly still don't feel like it even happened. And it was such a fun experience. I remember during the commercial breaks when I was standing up there in the contestants row where like you've been and whatnot, like I remember just like looking back like at the audience in the studio and I'm like, this is actually happening. Like what is going on? Like it was so surreal. And so all in all, it was such a fun experience. I definitely recommend it.
To be there.
Yeah, so yeah, one of the people YouTubers I looked up to, she won her showcase and she was also a guest model. I won, oh my God, what did I win? That's another thing too.
Ford Mustang.
I did. Oh, it was crazy because like, I remember after we finished taping the episode, they brought me to the prize department backstage where I like fill out my tax forms and whatnot, which you do have to pay taxes on. I was like signing all this paperwork and like when they were explaining stuff to me, I'm just like, can you like remind me what I won? Because I did not remember it whatsoever. I'm like, wait, what did I get?
It's pretty quick.
It goes by so quickly. It's insane. It's an hour
you
show.
Won
a
and then
lot.
move on.
Yeah, I want a DJ set, a bar
Another
set,
pool table.
a pool table, a TV, a beverage center. I don't know if you can see. There's a popcorn maker I won down there. A nose hair trimmer, $1,000.
We'll get some B-roll later, maybe.
Yes, definitely. What else was it? A set of power tools, a trip to Washington D.C., and then of course the best prize, which you mentioned, with the 2017 Mustang, which is really cool. And then yeah, my sister was on the show too, recently, and that just aired actually like a few weeks ago.
She was interviewed with.
Yeah.
How was that?
It was cool. With something that we actually both did. So she, it's weird because I feel like such a like stage mom, and like I like emailed Good Day. We were on a morning show here called Good Day Sacramento, and it was so cool because like got to talk about her experience and what it was like, especially like considering we had like a high school, like the high school episode. We had a whole viewing party, and it's such a surreal experience, especially like at that age. Like it's crazy. It's, like I don't know what I would have done if I did that in like my freshman year of high school.
How was she with the camera and stuff? Like, she took it well?
Yeah, no, like really well. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
that's
we're
good.
related, and so I think when you're on The Price is Right, like you're probably already like a really outgoing, energetic person. No, yeah, super fun episode. Like, I definitely see why like she got picked. And so I wish we could do it all again. Like it was so cool. I'm actually wanting to be on another game show. I've been auditioning for like different game shows, which you'll find out if I get on one later on. But just know, like I'm working on getting on another game show.
Real soon, you'll catch him there again.
We'll talk about it after we cut the camera.
Yeah. Is there a message you would like to say to anyone? Or just a brief message for.
Yeah, so subscribe to Austin Castro on YouTube, follow on Instagram, Austin Castro, follow on Twitter, but aside from all the social media plugs, I think, what do I want to say to the viewers? I think just stay tuned for more content, because I have a lot of exciting stuff coming up. We've been doing this for so long, like it's so crazy, and so if you want to get into YouTube, really just do it. I think what we've learned is that like when you step outside of your comfort zone, seriously, just do it. When you step outside of your comfort zone, it's so rewarding to like actually do what you want to do, because the biggest hurdle, especially with something like YouTube, is just getting over like that first step, which I think for me was just uploading that first video. And after uploading that first video, it became so much easier to get it going. Given that, like, you need to stay consistent and whatnot, but if you enjoy doing something, you want to do it, just like go for it. Because like, you might be stepping out of your comfort zone, but like your end reward will be so, like, it will be worth it.
Just try it out.
Do you have any last messages for your viewers?
I would say stay tuned for more of Austin's new adventures coming up, because he's, on the plane every weekend.
I wouldn't say plane, I'm in my car.
I'm just kidding.
I haven't left California in like a long time. I'm always just going around the state, driving my car. I basically live in my car at that point. At this point, like, my car is my home.
Pretty comfortable there?
Yeah. But stay tuned for Brandon's channel, because he has a lot of fun stuff coming up. We've been talking about your projects.
Oh yeah.
Hit that like and subscribe button for Brandon too.
Thank you very much for watching, and we'll come back for more later on. Definitely. And have a good, blessed day.
See you on the internet.